Hello and welcome to the Fall Review, the show that glitters in the moonlight, just like me. Hydo. My name is, well, Hydo. I was born like this, out of a embryonic sack. It was a mess. It was a mess. But anyway, let's move swiftly on to the first card. Barren Glory. A 6-mana enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control no permanents other than Barren Glory and have no cards in hand, this sort of card is fantastic. I absolutely love it. It's a little puzzle box, you know. It's something you've got to really work to achieve. Like winning in this way with absolutely nothing on the field is something else. And I've always wanted to build a deck around it, but I've never come to it yet. Maybe soon I will. Like, just getting this foil out has made me want to do it, so maybe we'll see that in the future. Without further ado, let's have a look. Ooh. There we go. So, this image, fittingly for something called Barren Glory, is quite barren. There's nothing really around. Is that a massive handprint? Is the light a massive hand? Because we've got fingers over here. 1, 2, 3, 4 going through that building. And then a 5th one there. Maybe like God coming down and ripping the land away. Ooh. Possibly. Well, that's quite good. I've never seen that before. But it is very barren, you know, especially over on the right of the image. There's just nothing going on. We simply have a nice sort of sunset. One thing that I'm a bit nonplussed about is if you have a look at the image, it is really quite dark in the foil. Which, you know, these old foils tended to be quite dark, so I don't know. There's a nice bit of detailing work on that little hut. So we can see some like lights going all around it. A lot of personality to this. Very, very nice. I think it's a strong 8. I really like it. I think it fits the theme of the card very, very well. And overall, it's just an epic image, I feel. Very nice. Which moves us on to the second card. Assert Authority. A 7-mana instant that reads, Affinity for Artifact. The spell costs 1 less to play for each artifact you control. Counter target spell. If it's countered this way, remove it from the game instead of putting it to its owner's hand. Okay. So if you have 5 artifacts, it's a counter spell with upside, you know. Are you going to have 5 artifacts? In some decks, maybe, but then why aren't you just playing counter spell to start with? The main reason would be if you were playing a Yuriko, Tiger's Shadow sort of deck where everything needs to be a high CMC to burn people. Could be a reason to run this, especially if you're running a more artifact-centered theme. So, I can see some uses for it. I've never used it, but, you know, if you want to. Let's have a look at the foiling. Right, okay. First thing that stands out are his hands. And it's really quite cool, actually. Like, from a distance, they just look like big patches of white. But with the foiling, you can really see his actual handprints and the sort of rays that are coming off it. That is a really nice use of foiling. And it is the main sort of draw of the image. That's really cool. I really like that. The rest of the image, is there much going on? Slight bit of highlighting on the background. You know, you can see the light sort of area of those blues at the top. That's nice. And then the character, is there much use of foiling on him? No. Some very light sort of detail at the bottom with those sort of trinkets he has on, but they don't catch the foil at all. That's a lost opportunity. We could have seen some really nice detail work on the character like we do on more recent foils. But the hands, I'm very impressed with that. That looks so cool. And a very specific. Oh, and also I've just caught it. A bit of eye foil. Ooh, very nice. It's decent, but I feel like there's a lot of lost opportunities, especially with the character. There are, the Vidalkins are, metal workers essentially, aren't they? And we could have had a lot of those trinkets being sort of exemplified. So it's a 7. I feel like the hands are very, very good use of foil, but there's lost opportunities in the rest of the image. Which brings us on to Orexian Rager. 3 mana for a 2/2. When it is the battlefield, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. He's a horror. How horrible. Yeah. Barren Glory. That's not where we needed to go. This sort of card is... It's a decent card. If you have any into the battlefield sort of effects, that are repeatable, maybe you're playing a Brago or something like that. Very good. But it also does just fill a hole. If you're playing a deck, you've got nothing else to do, why not play a 3 mana 2/2 that draws you a card? Gets you through your deck. It's cool. Pretty cool. Let's have a look at his foil. Now, what have we got? So far, not too plussed about this. That claw over there, you can really see the detail. The dark areas. Looks really nice. You get the claw. And like, if we pull it back a bit, you really sort of see the figure there. So that is very, very nice, actually. But like with the Vidalkin, I feel like there's a couple of missed opportunities. Those ribs could have maybe been extremely foil, really stood out. And the eyes, they are a focal point and you can pick them out, but I feel they could have been done more with. The overall colours, the blues, very nice, very cold. Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. I think we're going 6 here. It's a decent use of foil. You really can pick him out, but there's nothing too special about it. Like, Assert Authority, those hands, man. Those hands. They just look so cool. With the Orexian Rager, there are details and you can pick them out, but I just think the hands take it through for me there. So, pretty decent. But let's have a look. And this is a card I really didn't know existed. And I don't know quite why he's not a snow creature now that, snow is a bigger part of Magic. He's clearly in the snow. Goblin Furrier. 2 mana for a 2/2. Prevent all damage that Goblin Furrier would deal to snow creatures. Okay, after reading it, I realise what I've just said is stupid because he's wrapped up nice and warm and cozy, so he isn't snow. Okay, I apologise. I didn't read the card. What can you do? But he's got a nice little bunny. Looks very, very cool. Let's have a look at what he looks like up close. There he is. Okay, this foil is... it's alright. I've just realised he's got a rabbit tucked under his belt, and the foil is really showing that off. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh my god, and he's got another sort of creature down there, maybe like a squirrel based on the tail. That rabbit must be terrified over on the left. And he's and you even get a bit of eye foil there, glistening like he's just staring at the rabbit. The rabbit doesn't know what's coming. That is really cool. That is really, really cool. I feel it's a bit of a missed opportunity. Maybe his hat could have been foil, as it seems to be made out of a rabbit or something like that. But that is so cool and so much personality. That's a 9. I love stuff like that. That just looks wow. I never realized that. That is so cool. And that's what foiling can bring. It really picks out certain parts of the image. That's brilliant. I love it. There's so much story to it and so much personality. And that's just a random common from, you know, not Ice Age, Cold Snap. And wow, that's so cool. I love it. A strong 9 there. A strong. Which brings us on to our 5th card and our green card. Chord of Calling. Pay X green, and you can convoke it for an instant. Convoke means your creature can help you cast the spell. Ah, aren't they kind? Each creature you tap while casting a spell pays for 1 or 1 mana of that creature's color. Search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost X or less, and put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. A classic modern card, excellent in Commander as well. Tutors up anything you want, and you can get a nice cost reduction on it if you're playing some little idiots. Let's have a look. This is also the Buy a Box promo, I think it was. Or was it the Game Day promo? I can't remember. It was some kind of promo, and it didn't say on here. So I don't know what it is. Let's have a look at the foil. Ooh. Oh, look at that that armor there. That's really quite nice. A lot of detail picked out there. The big worm in the background, all very sort of generically foiled, but it is slightly raised, like the background there really catches the foil, and then yeah, nice bit of depth to it. Big worm, and then everything down at the bottom isn't foil at all. So, good use of depth. If we take it in the distance there, look, there you go. Really brings your eyes to the central figure and the worm. Yeah, nice use of depth. I like that. Good use of perspective. Looks really quite cool. Yeah. Yeah. Here we go, 8 with that one. Not quite a rabbit under your belt, but it's a good use of foil. Really draws the eyes up there to the central character. She's got a nice bit of detail work on it. And that's what I'm talking about with the Assert Authority. So just have a look at that again. Like, we could have had so much more detail. There is slight bits, but on the Chord of Calling, look at how much that stands out. Just the armor, it looks amazing there. And you can even see the Selesnya signet there on our harp. Wow, yeah. Strong 8. Still isn't quite a rabbit under the belt, but it's 1 in the hand. Which brings us on to our final 2 cards. I thought it was the final card. It's not. Our colours card for the day, Rakdos Cluestone. 3 mana artifact. Tap to add a black or a red to your mana pool, or pay a black and a red and sacrifice it. Draw a card. Excellent card. Always useful. You know, it ramps you early, late game, draw it. Draw a card. It's cool. It's cool. Excellent in limited. Would you play it in Commander? Possibly, if you had some kind of recursion engine to bring it back. Sun Titan, always a good one. Or Savina's Reclamation, the white sorcery that returns CMC 3 or less. Yeah. Anyway, let's have a look. Well. Yeah. Okay. This looks terrible. We do have the Rakdos insignia down at the bottom, which that looks good. But the actual card is terrible. Like, those chains could have had some highlighting, you know, around the edges of the Rakdos signet. Maybe that could have been it. But instead we get a lump of foil, which is very bland. That is bloody rubbish. That is incredibly disappointing. I think we're going to go 1 with that. That's just... Where is the shine? The foil sucks. Like, what is the... Why? There could have been so much more detail to it. That's just... Move out the way, number one. Rubbish. Garbage. It's just... Spit Flame Witch. Spike Flame Witch, sorry. So, a colourless or a black or a red. Could be either. Which one's it going to be? For an Elemental Shaman. It's a 2-1. Alright, okay stat line. Pay a black and a red. Each player loses 1 life. Pretty cool card. I had this in my cube for a while. Didn't do anything, so I removed it. But it could be okay. Nice little burn deck. You know, you get your opponent low. It's a mana sink late game. Half decent. But let's have a look at the foiling. And should I put it back in the cube because it's foil? No. Well. It is a very dark image, isn't it? Hold on a second. Is it that dark? No, see, earlier I was talking about how the foils from older sets can be very dark. Look at how dark this is. Yeah. Disappointingly dark. But the foil does sort of shimmer through, which is nice. That hand foil looks nice. There we go. Similar to the card earlier, the blue card. There's 2 levels of foil there, which looks really cool. Got the sort of lesser white and then the white, and then when it all catches the light, it looks really quite good and blends together. That's nice. And then we've got a nice bit of fire there. And some kind of explosion, probably what the witch is throwing out. Looks half decent. I think it's cool. A really dynamic image. You know, really brings the eyes to the to the top half of the image. Yeah, it's all right. I think we're gonna go for a 6. It's a 6. It's middle of the road. Bit dark, but it's half decent. Yeah, pretty cool. And with that, I'm done. If you'd like to subscribe, please do. I'm going to be making a lot more of this sort of content where we look at different foils from all throughout Magic's history. And it's going to be absolutely wonderful. Bye.